Hello guys, I am back with the discussion on a very interesting PMP scenario. Um, this time it is about compliance, quality, and the regulatory aspect. So let me read out the scenario first and then we will discuss. Uh, the PMP scenario says that a project for an accounts receivable system that was recently launched into production received a fine from a regulatory body because the system did not comply with local regulations. What should the project manager have done to avoid this situation? Option A, define a risk monitoring and controlling process. Option B, defining a control quality process. Option C, defining a quality assurance process. And option D, involving the audit department in the project planning process. Let me point out the important terminologies in the scenario first. It was recently launched into production. So it has recently been made live. And like after making live, it received a fine from regulatory body because there was a non-compliance with local regulation, which is a big thing. Financial repercussions and regulatory non-compliance is a big thing in the practical projects, right? So definitely there is a serious issue with the project deliverables and how the the quality and the compliance to the deliverables with respect to the regulatory requirements and expectations was fulfilled. So let's check the option choices one by one to understand that what project manager has missed and what they should have done to avoid the situation. Option A says defining a risk monitoring and controlling process would have avoided this situation. See, risk monitoring and controlling is needed in every project. Risk monitoring and controlling ensures that the risk process is up to the mark. It's effective. It's working for the overall project objectives and project delivery. The identified risks, their owners, their assigned responses, their reserves and the different attributes to those risks, they are working as expected. But in this case, even if the risk monitoring and controlling process is there or it's working, this situation still can happen if something else has not been done, and we need to understand that something else, right? So let's check option A, option B, because option A is not the appropriate process in this situation. Option B is defining a control quality process. I'm going to discuss option B and C together because they are actually related to each other. So option B is defining a control quality process and option C defining a quality assurance process. We need to understand what is quality. Quality is defined as the criteria that ensures the fulfillment of the requirements of your stakeholder and your customers, right? In this case, our stakeholder is a regulatory body. So clearly, the regulatory body is not happy with this recent launch because their quality requirements are not fulfilled. The way they perceived your accounts receivable system as, they are not really happy with that, and they just impose a fine to you. So it's something related to the quality or some miss on the quality part. Now, what is control quality and what is quality assurance? Quality assurance is the process that you need to enforce when it comes to quality. It can be related to best practices of project management. It can be related to obligation to the regulatory and compliance procedures. It can be related to fulfillment of certain standards. It can be related to certain trainings, and it can be related to the effective utilization of resources, right? Some process should be there. It can be related to some certifications and some global qualifications as well. So some process is there, like some ways of working are there, some best practices are there. Quality assurance guarantees that. But how well the process has been enforced in the capacity of quality, or what you have planned when it comes to quality and what you are actually delivering, and the variance between that is ensured by control quality. So planned versus actual, analysis and calculation is done in control quality process, and this is exactly what is missing over there. A control quality process or the right implementation of those tools are missing. Those tools could be many. There are many control quality tools like control chart or Pareto chart or root cause analysis or fishbone diagram or multiple workflows and histograms, and uh, there are many tools available for the effective implementation of control quality process. But one way or the other, you need that visibility, that the expectation of your stakeholder when it comes to that system or the quality of that system versus what you are delivering to them. Is that being delivered or not? So the control quality process is missing in this case. But let's check the option B as well. So between A, B, and C, it's clear that the control quality aspect, the bug checking mechanism, the variance mechanism, has not been rightly monitored. Or if the process was there, it was not effective. And those issues, those bugs, if those were identified, those were not rightly fixed or implemented in the system, or probably the system was the process was not altogether. So B, we are going to keep B, and we will check D. Option D says involve the audit department in the project planning would have avoided this situation. Now, when I posted this question on my regular Friday post, I received only a 10% inclination of the audience towards option B, which in my opinion is a very justified thing to do in this case. Most of the people, I would say more than 50% of the people, were of the opinion that option D is the best thing to do in the situation. If option D had been done, the situation would not have arisen. Option D says that you involve the audit department, could be compliance department, could be any regulatory department in the project planning. I totally agree that yes, involving the right people in the quality planning, in understanding the requirements, in documenting the requirements, in analyzing the requirements, and incorporating that in the scope, which is a very important area in accordance to quality aspect. All of that makes sense. And yes, option B is in a way is right as well. But you tell me one thing. If we involve the audit department in project planning, if they are going to be there actively providing their needs and requirements and expectation and everything in alignment to the compliance and regulatory body expectation. But if that is there documented, being worked upon, but no check and balance mechanism is there, which is option B. What good the option D would bring without option B? So even if option D is there is a chance that the situation is still would have occurred. Why? Because there is no check and balance mechanism. There is no controlling mechanism. There is no variance calculation mechanism, which is option B. So while option D makes a very justified sense, without option B alone would not help you out. It's only a planning aspect. It's not the planning versus monitoring aspect. B is both planning versus monitoring aspect, like what you have planned and what you have achieved, and what is the delta in there. And if the delta is way higher than what you could absorb as a threshold or tolerance, then there's a problem in that. And most likely in case of compliance or regulatory requirements, the threshold or tolerance is very minimal or almost none. So it's a serious matter. Without a proper quality monitoring or quality controlling process. How can you just make the deliverables and hand that over to the body? Right? Or probably you have a process, but it's not working as per the expectation of your stakeholders. So option B is the right answer in this case. And if you still disagree with me, if you still think that option D is the right answer, or probably some other option is the right answer, do let me know in the comment area with your explanation, and I will make sure that I clarify your queries. I hope you like this explanation. I will be back very soon with the explanation of another PMP scenario. Till then, take care. Goodbye.